why we need to provide due diligence and know your client information, why you need to provide your ID and prove that the money was acquired legally, etc. We'll also give you a background as to who is requiring these documents and why. I've been in the international banking, trust, and company formation business since 1991, and our company was formed in 1906. As of this recording, we have over 65,000 clients in our database, and we are the leading asset protection company worldwide. It's our desire to get our clients' companies, trust, and bank accounts formed quickly, and there are certain requirements we must follow in order to do this. So here's the main organization that makes banks, trust companies, and corporate providers follow these requirements. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. It's an international, intergovernmental economic organization with 36 member countries, founded in 1961 to stimulate economic progress and world trade. In 1989, the OECD created the Financial Action Task Force on Money Laundering, or FATF, which is another intergovernmental organization, meaning that many countries come together. And its purpose is to combat money laundering, and in 2001 to also stop the funding of terrorism. It implements its recommendations as mutually agreed by member countries. Now, the FATF office is housed at the OECD headquarters in Paris. In 2003, 40 recommendations require countries, among other things, to implement customer due diligence, for example, identity verification and record keeping, plus 9 special recommendations. Here are some examples of these recommendations or requirements in order to form a company, trust, or bank account. Providing a notarized photocopy of your passport and the original utility bill bearing your residential address to prove identity, a reference letter from your existing bank, and/or letter from an attorney and/or accountant, plus safeguards to help prevent illegal funds from going through the financial system, among other things. In 2000, it issued a list of non-cooperative countries, commonly called the FATF blacklist, that did not comply with the guidelines. Such a jurisdiction is put under intense financial pressure, such as limiting the country's ability to borrow from the International Monetary Fund, downgrading their debt rating, limiting their access to bond funds, correspondent banks, and ending the relationships so that they cannot wire funds in US dollars or euros, effectively crippling their economies and impoverishing their people. In fact, I've personally witnessed this. As a result, their governments will pull the licenses of non-cooperative banks, corporate providers, law firms, and trustees, thus hotels, restaurants, doctors' offices, food stores, gas stations that use that bank, and whatever other type of business that you may be in, would not be able to process credit cards or payments, putting hundreds or even thousands of people out of work, including the person who is reviewing your bank account, trust, or company application for compliance. I personally traveled and walked into dozens of offshore banks and trust companies, and have personally witnessed the fear on their faces as they undergo their annual audits, making sure they have every document for every customer, and that they are not accepting any customers who have an inkling of a possibility of handling illegal proceeds. For even one violation, they face stiff fines, loss of license to their business, and the ends to their careers. Like getting on a standard commercial airliner to take a trip, we must go through security screening if we want to get on that airplane. So we have a choice. Among other things, we can put our bags on the conveyor belt, walk through a body scanner, and follow whatever other instructions are given by the personnel. We can get a special security clearance to lighten the load, or we can stand there beating our chests, yelling at the officials that they're wasting our time and complaining that we are good people, not terrorists, and shouldn't have to be subject to such scrutiny. As you know, they don't care. If we want to go to Paris or Dallas or visit a family on a standard flight, you have to follow their procedures, whether you're a good person or not. So when you set up a company, trust, or bank account, we can stomp our feet and wonder why it's taking so long, or we can simply comply, go through the checklist one at a time, and get the job done. No bank president is going to tell an FATF international inspector that this particular customer got mad that it was taking too long, so we gave him a pass. That's why we don't have a copy of his reference letters. A banker like that will be out on the street looking for work, The president or prime minister will likely not win re-election due to the economic ruin of his or her country. Just like the security screeners at the airport, the bankers are not going to make exceptions because you or I are somehow special. The items really are relatively easy. It's not brain surgery, and nobody is asking you to dig a tunnel with your bare hands between New York and Los Angeles. All you have to do is make a few phone calls for reference letters, make a few photocopies, visit a notary public, and stick all the documents in an envelope. It's a small effort for the tremendous benefits of asset protection from lawsuits, investment opportunities, financial privacy, and business expansion that international finance may bring to your life. So go through the checklist one at a time, and I'm sure you will find it easy to accomplish. If you're a client with questions, please feel free to give us a call, and we're very glad to help you. Thank you.